Welcome, baby, to another edition of the Vandy vlog. I'm joined in the vehicular device this week with the big picture. He's back.
Do you start everyone off like that?
I do, my friend. So you're back in the saddle again, you're back wrestling. You were in Des Moines at the last show. You had a terrific comeback in the Battle Royal, did not get the W, but you still made some shockwaves with your big return. You were suspended for a year. Did you get canned goods? Like, did they give you some kind of package deal out of it, some severance out of that?
Nothing but heartache and headaches.
And now the lawyers are gone. All the legal things are done.
I think Billy J's gone as the key. He's not there to complain about the dangerousness of wrestling and being around the big picture, so I get to come back. And I promise no more fire, no more pyrotechnics. I don't promise that, but we'll see. I'll try not to.
On a serious note, it's awesome to have you back in Des Moines and in Algona as well. And you made your big comeback this past Saturday, taking on the champ, J-Double, James Jeffries, a match that you've been looking forward to for a long time. What's it like to be back in the ring?
It's always a pleasure. Anytime we get to wrestle, it's always a pleasure. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than in a wrestling ring, and if I have my say, I'd rather wrestle in Algona than almost anywhere. It's where I got my start. It's where James got his start. We walked in the building the same day together. Been training as long as together in the same class. We started out with 8 guys, quickly dropped down to 2, and years later in history, James has been just about one of the most successful guys IPW has seen, and I've been one of the meanest. That's saying something. It might not be on the records, but somewhere there's an asterisk and a note that says the big picture is the meanest.
So you and James kind of get into the business same time together. What was the training like, and what was training like with James back then?
Well, it was like I said, we started out with 8 guys, so right off the bat, we knew we were in for a ride because they kept dropping like flies, and before we knew it, it was down to just us, just me and him, just hours and hours. You've been to training, and we've got guys, and you rotate in and you do drills, and it's just a lot different with just 2 of us. And we were pretty blessed that we got the tail end of Trav and Johnny Fitness actually getting in there and doing the in-ring work with us. So we got a lot of really, really good knowledge, a lot of good tutelage.
And part of the reason why I asked what the training was like with James is because when myself and Ray Fearing, when we got in, we saw Ricky Love and Aaron Von Baron when they were training. They worked together a lot because they were like you kind of talked about how you had a class of 8 going down to 2. They were really the 2 newest guys training and starting up, and so they bonded pretty quickly. You and James, you ended up becoming a tag team with Impact Pro Wrestling.
Eventually, yeah, it took quite a while. James kind of shot up the ladder real quick. He had a lot of early success. He had tag team gold with other guys and a lot of singles success as well. And I struggled. I struggled for a long time. But I got there in the end, and then finally when we did get to form our tag team, that was one of the highlights of my career so far. Before he had to change of heart, decided he cared what the fans think.
Why do you think maybe you were not at that peak yet? What kind of held you back, possibly?
Well, I think James had the athletic background. I didn't necessarily have much of an athletic background. I don't know. I think we were both working hard, just worked out a little bit better for him early on than me.
And then you mentioned you guys end up teaming up. You have great tag team success. What was maybe your favorite tag team matchup before you guys split?
Man, I can't even remember something specific that sticks out. Just lots of wars with Justin, Decent, and Ugly. Lots of wars. That was probably our feud of the decade, just going back and forth with those guys over and over again.
Now, what year did you start training?
I think it was August of 07 or October of 07.
So almost a decade in just professional wrestling. Yeah. In those 10 years, what's maybe been a highlight for you?
Highlights for me have included, like getting in the ring with Perry Saturn a couple of times, Wes Briscoe at the Hall of Fame, main event in the Hall of Fame. That's got to be up there. And anytime I get to wrestle James or somebody that I've been in there with a ton of time, we get that familiarity. You always take it to a whole new level. Every time you go in there, you push it a little bit further, you do a little bit more. It's a little bit better match. Yeah, I've got a lot of great memories. A lot of the times, though, I think the best things to remember are not necessarily in the ring. Lots of times it's on the road, or setting up. There's always something. It's always something that happens. Wrestling's taken us, some crazy places. I know some people I don't think I'd ever have even run into if it wasn't for pro wrestling.
I'll give you another question here, then we maybe do a little rapid fire. But in your time in professional wrestling, people say, oh, this guy, he's a great worker, he's a great athlete, he's this. People look at you and say, man, that guy does not care where he's landing. He's going all out. If he's falling on his ass, he's making sure that those people see, okay, he's in pain, he's taking these big bumps. What's it like to kind of be recognized as a big bumper?
It's good. It's got its goods and bad, things about it. Because then it's dangerous. Because then it's almost expected of you, and it's not, it's not necessarily an easy thing to fall off an apron and take these kind of bumps. But at the same time, I've always been a physical guy. Ever since I started, I knew that would be a part of my game, is the physicality, and that's on both ends of it.
All right, now what we'll do here, first time on the Vandy vlog, name association before we get out of here. Name association, I'll say a name, you say what first thing that comes to your mind. We'll start with this one. Ugly.
Ugly? I'm gonna say bald. He's a bald guy.
Harley Jackson.
Harley Jackson, dysfunctional.
Aaron Von Baron.
Tag team partner. Tag team champions.
Johnny Fitness.
Johnny Fitness can jump out of the building. Sky, air, whatever.
TS Aggressor.
TS Aggressor's the mentor, the brains, the
Marshall Scott.
Marshall Scott is one of the guys, and I had a lot of good wars with. He was a tenacious. I'll say tenacious because he kept coming at me, and he was a guy who is a little bit smaller than me. I thought, you throw the physicality at him, he'll wilt, but he did not. He stepped up every time, and we ended up having, I think, a couple of the best matches. You could probably be hard pressed to find anything better at the vault.
Justin Decent.
Justin Decent. A lot of experience wrestling him.
The big picture.
The big picture, menacing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
You're back. You're stronger, better, faster than ever. What do you want to do before you are done?
Everything. I haven't won the heavyweight championship ever, so that's, anytime you've got those kind of check marks unchecked on your list, that's always a big one. I'd like to get in there and wrestle a couple more names if we ever get the opportunity to do that. Like I said, wrestling Perry Saturn was a really cool thing to be able to go home and tell my friends. Like, hey, I wrestled a guy that we all grew up watching. Guys like Wes Briscoe, just guys who have been where we want to be, things like that. Every day my goal is to have a lot of fun and make sure we entertain people and kick some ass.
All right, before we get out of here, any social media people can follow you at?
No, I don't have a Twitter. You can find me on Facebook if you look for Ashton Christopher. I don't know what my name is on Facebook. I forget. I don't do a lot of social media. You gotta come and find me in real life if you want to see me.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for joining us on the Vandy vlog. We hit him with that boom button, that red button right there.
Boom.
You just gotta say boom it.
Boom!